Welcome to episode 219 of Say Like a Champ. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy. What's good, SLAC family?
Back in the building at our normal, regularly scheduled program time, which
Right.
actually though, since we've kind of been on this train last, we actually switched to like the daylight
Oh,
savings
you're
time
right.
started too. So do want to give our shout out to our West Coasters, our Pacific Handle Time, and then also our Central Coast, our Texas people out there as well. So it might have switched for them. Hopefully they caught us.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
see
we
Unc in the building. I see Unc
Unc
in the
in the
building.
building already. That's what's up. Hello from Texas. Welcome, Unc. We also got Kelly. Happy Tuesday, Kelly. We also got Pops in the building. Good evening, Pops.
Yep.
And yeah, we appreciate all you being here with us. We appreciate the likes, the comments. Definitely, you're a big part of our show, so we appreciate having you with us.
Big time.
How you feeling, fam? What's good?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, man, I'm feeling great, man. I feel really, really good. I feel rested, honestly. I kind of took a break off from the gym, like a week or so, just to kind of your body needs to recover too. You know what I mean? So actually, I feel really, really good. Um, but aside from that, you know what I mean? Same old, same old. You?
That's what's up. Yeah, I'm doing good as well. Time is just moving fast. It's already November. It's getting ready to be the end of the year. We got Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas coming up. So, I'm just
Almighty.
trying to keep up with everything for sure. But I'm enjoying it. Definitely everything is well with me. So,
My oldest already sending me stuff for Christmas, talking about I want this for Christmas.
yeah, you're behind, man. You got to be getting that Christmas list in early. You know what I'm saying?
I
When I was
know,
a kid, I was already with it.
for
but
reals.
um, but that's what's up. But before we get the show started, too, we want to welcome our third member of our panel. Our good brother. He has
Sure.
time to be with us today, and we appreciate it so much, Mr. Matt Marcus. What's
What up,
good?
y'all?
What up, man? What up? I don't know if my thing is lacking on y'all. If it is, I'm sorry about that.
I think your video might be a little bit, but you're okay. We hear you loud and clear, so
Yeah.
all's good.
Okay. It might clear up after a while, but yeah. So everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man,
You?
we're doing good. How about you?
I'm good, man. We here, man. So
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Got the golf apparel. That's what's up. And I didn't know it, but there's actually a golf tournament here this weekend, like in the Biltmore area, right?
well, I
Did you
didn't know
hear about
about that.
this? There's like
Mm.
I think it's dang, I'm gonna have to find out before the end of the show. I will announce it, but I think tomorrow's part is actually free, and then there's tickets for this weekend. So I'll let you know what's up with that.
I've
It's not
been,
like a PGA
I've
tournament or
been.
something.
Oh, okay. I've been waiting for the Netflix thing, so that's what I've been waiting for.
You said
Got you.
next week?
No, the Netflix. They have
Oh,
a
Netflix.
competition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so that's gonna be pretty dope.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of good stuff coming on with golf. Yeah, golf, Tigers Little League going on. That's
Mm.
going to be really cool too. So, but that's what's up. But we'll go ahead and get into our first topic of the day. Let me see if I can't pull up our graphics here, and we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do it for this time because we don't have our typical scoreboard ready. But we're just gonna kind of talk some NFL talk on our first one. So let's get into it. What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tuned to NFL talk.
Let's get it.
All right, y'all. So I know we normally jump into our scoreboard. Don't have the scoreboard ready. We can kind of cruise on ESPN if we want to together. But I was just thinking we could kind of talk from memory about how we always do the games that kind of made an impression, the games that stood out for us of the weekend, maybe some surprises here and there. And the one I definitely wanted to lead off with was Dobbs. Last we saw him, he was cut by the Cardinals after being a late addition. He came like the last week of preseason and ended up being the starter right away for the Cardinals. Then got cut last week, traded to the Vikings, and coming out having to come into the game and actually leading the Vikings to a victory over the Falcons. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to Dobbs, man. That's really cool to see him be a chance to be a
Yeah,
playmaker right
man.
away, man.
Dude.
Let's go.
What did y'all think about that?
I think the craziest thing about it is this: one, he didn't start the game. He came in later. You know what I mean? So he didn't even start it. Two, when he did come in, the offensive line held up around him because he didn't even know their five cadences. He didn't even know the cadences yet. So, like, this man went into the game, didn't even know their offensive line's cadences, and still brought them back to it. That's crazy, dog. Like, that's shout out to him, man. I hope he gets his chance wherever he goes. You know what I mean? If they
Yeah.
end up trading What's his face? Let him go. I hope Cousins. I hope he finds a home there, man. He deserves it for sure.
Yeah, I feel you, man. That was pretty dope. Unc says Dobbs being heroic. And yeah, we'll see how it progresses. But he came out firing, you know what I'm saying? He came out scrambling, making plays. So that was really, really cool to see. And they have a pretty solid team around him, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So if they make plays, then, you know, you never know. I want to welcome Grace to the show.
Grace?
What up, Grace?
Thank you for being here with us. So another thing, too, we wanted to talk about a little bit. The weekend started off with the Steelers and the Titans, and the Steelers actually getting a victory over the Titans in that Thursday night game. But one thing that's kind of come out of that is my boy George Pickens. You know, everybody's a little bit commenting on him being frustrated or showing frustrations on the sideline, including when they had their game-winning touchdown. He didn't catch it, right? I think he only had like 2 catches or 2 targets in this game, but, you know, kind of being upset on the sideline. So what do you guys think about the Pickens situation and where the Steelers are at?
You want that, though. I think he's your number 1 receiver. You want to see that. So I don't have any problem with it tonight. You're the 34th receiver doing that, then we have a problem. So I think even though you won, he wants to be part of that win, you know. So I don't think nothing wrong with that. They know his character. They know who he is. So I think it's good to see that. You want to see your best player want to be part of those moments. So I think it's okay.
I actually agree with you. My junior year of high school, right, playing football, we ran a wing tee offense, right? So a lot of double tights, a lot of, you know, just in a sense of just like, you know, receivers doing a lot of blocking, right? And like coming out, like I had like colleges like looking at me at that point in time. So like not being able to get the ball as like our team's best, it's frustrating, dog. Like you're a receiver, you're the best receiver, and you know for the fact like your team is only better with the ball in your hands. Like it's frustrating as hell when you're not getting the ball. So I feel him on that. And if we're being honest, you know what I'm saying? Like the Steelers are winning, but they're still not winning pretty, and the offense still looks ugly. The running game hasn't been getting going. Pickett still doesn't look very good. You know what I mean? They're just winning, right? They have a great coach and all that kind of fun stuff. But so I completely understand his frustrations. And like Marcus said, like when you know that you can make a big difference in the offensive game where you guys are clearly struggling and you're still not getting the ball, like it sucks. Like it's like, what am I out here for? You know what I mean? Like I could be out somewhere else or whatever. So I understand his frustration.
Yeah, I feel it too. I'm right in line with y'all's comments. But just to add that one more layer, of course, you know, this is a Georgia boy, and that's the squad, right? So been watching him like through the years, I feel like he's shown immaturity and different things like through the time, and he had to grow at his time in Georgia. I think this is kind of a similar thing of like him just kind of finding where that space is for him to show those frustrations, but also understand that the media is going to make something out of everything you do.
Yeah.
So like, you know, to avoid this type of situation, I'm not saying be different. And like y'all, like I want him to be wanting the ball, right? But just like, man, you know, you gotta brace yourself for all those things that come with it. And they're like ready and waiting to see like and to have a reason to kind of talk down on you, like in the situation he's in my opinion. So
yeah, I will say this though too. Like I don't think he plays for the Steelers next year. Tomlin's really Tomlin's always been the kind of guy that's kind of like, I'll win with who wants to be here. You know what I mean? And unless they mend it, he's like, you know what, my bad. Like I was just frustrated. You know what I mean? Like I could really see them be like, if you want to be somewhere else, like we'll grant you that. So we'll see what happens. Joe really, he just can't stay healthy.
Yeah. No, but I hope it doesn't come to that, because like I think Tomlin like understands too, but he's probably trying to behind closed doors be like, see what happens when you go about it that way, you know, same kind of thing. So I think, you know, they all know too, like the coaching staff isn't blind, like that's their playmaker, right? That's the guy that make a difference for them. So I think that everybody knows that if they want their offense to be better, like they got to get him involved more. So
I'm very curious to see what happens too, though, with this whole situation.
For sure. I just think it ends up being hopefully much ado about nothing. Ugg says Steelers worst team in the league, but have a winning record for now. Yeah, it's crazy how they keep doing it, right? But they're making it happen.
Unc ain't watching Panther games. He ain't watching Panther games.
See, Pop says he was happy that the Chiefs shut down Loudmouth Hill, and his fumble for a touchdown was the difference in the game. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. Ugg says Tyreek needs to be more humble. I think
come on, I don't agree with that.
I think honestly, I thought the Dolphins were going to do more against the Chiefs, so I wanted to get your guys' thoughts about that. And Hill was excited to go at them, but he didn't have the best game. That's unfortunate, but I still feel like he's going to get to 2,000 yards this year. Like I still think he is like a big time playmaker too. So that's just his thing. That's just what he does.
I just don't like those big games like that to be overseas, or I don't say overseas, but somewhere out of the country. I like those games to be either in Kansas City or Miami. I think those big games, like a game like a Seattle versus the Rams, that should be to make it exciting. But those kind of games, I just feel like you got to do so much to get ready. I don't think you're getting your real self. Even the Chiefs, they did win, but it's not the real Chiefs because you got to do so much different to get yourself together and get yourself ready. It's not really your fans. It's like it's just different. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
I think a game like that, a big game like that, should have been more here than somewhere else. So I think Hill is. I think that's his personality. I don't think he's not humble. I think the guy does great things. If you watch his Instagram. Like that one kid, that one guy who took the football from his mom or played around, he went to the guy and to the restaurant and surprised him with the ball and like that. I think he's a humble guy. I think he's like wrestling. You got to be a character to stay relevant. So I think how he acts is not being humble. I think he's just trying to be a different guy. So I think he's a great receiver. I think he's a great guy, and it's hard. That's your team who pretty much you left this team to go somewhere else. So your emotions gonna be different. You trying to show them like I don't need y'all. I'm still good, and it's hard to do. You trying to do too much. That's why you probably fumbled the ball. He's trying to go hard. So it wasn't a bad game. They didn't get blew out and like that. So he made a mistake. So I think I like Tyreek Hill. I think he's a good player. I think he's one of because when he first started in the NFL, he wasn't like a known guy. He was like a quick receiver, like a slot
just
guy.
Being fast. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So, but he involved until who he is now. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about getting 2,000 yards. That's a big deal. So I think I like him as a football player. I think he might be a little cocky, but look how good he is. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he's unhumble like that. But I don't know.
Yeah. And I agree with you, Marcus, wholeheartedly. I think he's a great guy. Like I see him not like I don't say like behind closed doors in a sense, but like you get to see him a lot like when he's away from football, right? You get to see him away from football, and that's always just a guy, man. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have to go to that dude who got his mom's football and got it back to his mom, but he did that. I see him a lot doing things with kids, and honestly, even just on like social media, I see him doing a lot of like really kind of fun jokes.
Yeah, talk to kids and stuff. He goes out with kids. Yeah, he
goes out to the little like YouTube channels and hangs out with these kids who are just trying to like make themselves known in high school to get to college. You know what I mean? So, and not only that too, like those guys on the other side of the field, like those are his friends. Like,
yeah, it is.
We got to remember, like him saying like, "Oh, I'm a dog." These dudes, like those are his boys. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, him leaving the Chiefs isn't about his ex-teammates. That's about the organization. They couldn't make it happen. They couldn't get him the money that they knew he deserved. That he knew he deserved.
That he wanted too.
Yeah. So that's the reason why he's a Dolphin right now. It's not because he didn't want to be there or they didn't want him. It was just he's too good and they couldn't pay him what he was worth.
Pat Mahomes would take him right now. He would take him in the heartbeat.
If Pat can give up every receiver he got right now to grab that dude, he's like, look, we're gonna roll with Kelsey and Hill. We're gonna figure it out.
That's all they needed before.
That's it.
For sure.
Yeah. So like and then too, like I think this game too, I think this game itself like kind of stinks being in Germany, but I think it also said a little bit more about the Dolphins as a whole. Because like they're blowing out the bad teams, but they can't beat the good ones right now, right? So I think they got a little bit more to worry about than just Tyreek Hill and being like, if we want to be successful in the playoffs or in the long run, like we got to figure out how to beat teams over 500. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes.
Pops is killing for sure. Pops, he gonna hold back, man.
I understand Pops, but I don't think he's ever been arrested for anything. So like. We can't say.
That's so funny, though.
But
I know, definly. Pops is on record, though. He's like, that's how I feel.
We should have a camera on Pops, so when he's typing this stuff, and like we look at what he's typing, we can tell it's gonna be a good take or something. He might be laughing right now. Yeah,
we need that, honestly. Like, how they used to have the stat guy, or like how on college football, and like they have like the bear every once in a while. Like we need to have like cut to a quick top scam, so he can just he can just kind of pop in real quick and do his corrections. You know what I'm saying?
No, we love it though.
But
we got to have all the different opinions, man. I love it.
Yeah, we gotta get it back on soon. That would be dope. But The other games, well, one other surprising game, Ravens Seahawks, like they just beat the Seahawks down. Like I thought the Ravens would win, but I just think like I'm curious to know if you guys feel this way, but you think the Ravens are like making a statement as one of the better teams in the NFL right now?
That defense,
Big
man.
time.
That defense, man.
Lamar Jackson too was throwing at a 71% clip. So, he's finally got a good receiver, and Zay Flowers. I know Odell had a touchdown last week. I think it came from Tyler Huntley though. It wasn't from Lamar, but still,
yeah.
The defense is so good. The offense is playing so much. They're on the field for so long. The defense is just so damn good. So as long as Lamar's not making mistakes and he's able to continue throwing the way he is and completing at 71%, yeah, they're most definitely one of the best teams in the league right now.
Yeah, man, they're scary right now, man. They look good, man. They're like the old Ravens with a better offense. The Ravens always had a good defense, but you put them two together, man, it's like, ooh.
I agree. I think it's kind of a big thing too for like Todd Monken going there. Like he's kind of like got the same kind of Georgia formula he had, like making it easier on the quarterback, high completion throws, and complimenting it because you got a defense behind you, that's gonna hold up their end of the bargain and get you the ball more. So they are looking pretty scary. I'm just curious, like on their schedule, what it looks like if we're gonna see them kind of have some tests or see them going up against some of those other bigger teams. I know they got to play the Bengals again, so we'll see that. But I'm curious who else they have on their schedule. For sure.
Very true.
We got to talk about the Cowboys Eagles. I wasn't really too disappointed in the game, I guess, like at the end of the day when I really think about it, because we were competitive in the game, and I feel like there were just I feel like we played almost better. There was just some few things that needed to go differently that didn't really go our way. So I'm definitely more encouraged than I was after the 49ers game. But Marcus, I'd like to see how you felt about the Cowboys Eagles.
Well, I was surprised. I thought it was going to be another blowout. You know how we do in big games. We don't play well, especially in Philly.
When we go down early, like
but it's like those kind of games, like you said, this is the first loss in a long time that I was okay with the loss. You know what I'm saying? Because we should have won that game. So it showed the world too. And the thing about it, I gotta give Pops his credit because Pops he said it. He said Dak is gonna be okay. Don't worry about Dak. He gonna turn it around. I was like, nah, it's over with. I really thought Dak, his career was gonna be like he already reached his peak, But that game showed the mental of him because everybody's saying, oh, Dak can lose the game, all that kind of stuff. And for him to come out and play that like that, you know what I'm saying? He made a couple of mistakes. He missed a couple of passes he could have got, but you can't be perfect all the time. Right. But that showed me in Dak. That showed me in Dak can win Super Bowl. He really can. I believe in Dak now. I think he can really do it. If we get to that point, you can put the ball in his hand. I think he'll make it happen. The only thing about us is you see like the Chiefs, you see like the Eagles, like the 49ers, they going out and getting these players over there to help them out to make them better. You take away CMC from the 49ers, they don't be as that good. You know what I'm saying? They go and get these players, the Eagles, drafting all these Georgia guys and getting AJ Brown. Like they doing things to help. Like we got CeeDee Lamb. That's all we got. Yeah. Like we should have drafted him. Yeah, we should have went and got the guy from the Raiders. What's his name?
Devontae Adams.
We should go get him. Like I don't understand why we didn't get Derrick Henry. Like we have to do stuff like that to be good. Like we have the team, the defense is there, but all we have is Ferguson and CeeDee Lamb. That's all we got.
Yeah.
Pollard back there not doing anything. Because he's not the number one guy.
He's in a tough spot.
Yeah, but
the play calling isn't helping because they're just running in obvious downs, and he's not that guy.
I think that's the bigger problem. They're not using him to his strengths.
But I think you can because you got to use him in a regular running back. He's not fresh. Like I'm saying, when Zeke was there, we could throw him out there and put him on the outside and do his thing. But like Jared knew how to get those players. Like he went and got Deion that 1 year. Deion made a big difference for us. You know what I'm saying? We did something. Like I think the Cowboys who are never going to do anything. We'll go get those players. Go get those. Spend some money. Go get those guys. Help back out. We say we have a number 2 receiver. Just imagine that. He had 11 catches for 191. Just imagine we had another guy. We win that game, and we can't. I love Steele, but you can't do that kind. You can't. That gets sacked like that. We're on the 6-yard line. We about to. I'm looking like we about to win this game. Yeah. And then we go back to the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? So it's just things that we have to do in front office. And then, like I say, I like to see what Dak did. The defense was solid too. You know what I'm saying? So it just we right there, man. We just got to make those differences and make those players get somebody over there, get some help over there with us, and just spend some money, man. Go over the cap or something like that. Do
just
it.
make a splash. Yeah,
like we gotta do that. I think we do that. I think we'll be okay. But I was impressed with the loss because we should have won that game. So we didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? We normally we fold up. We didn't fold up. You know what I'm saying? That fumble that the Eagles hit AJ Brown do fumble, we should get that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get that. The touchdown, the guy, his knee was like inches from getting a touchdown.
Right.
We don't get that. Dak go out 2 conversions, he stepped out of bounds. All those things happen for us to lose. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta those things happen, we win those games. So I'm not sad about it, you know what I'm saying? Because it just little things that happen, we didn't win a game. But the Cardinal loss, we can't lose to the Cardinals. Right. We can't lose that game, man. You know what I'm saying? We 5-3 now. We were 5-2. So things like that. So I'm still hopeful, but we got a tough schedule coming up too, though. We gotta start winning some games, man. But we got some tough games.
I think y'all still got the Bills and
Miami,
Detroit. Yeah. So y'all got
the Eagles again.
Yeah,
it's like,
I think it's kind of funny. I actually agree with you, Marcus. I think that thing that really sucks most about this game as a non-Cowboy fan, honestly, is that I feel like they lost in what you might say typical Cowboy fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you guys kind of lose at the end of games, like in recent past, is kind of how you lost this one too. On that last drive,
like being right
the
there.
The Eagles totally put you on the 6-yard line. You know what I mean? With the pass interference, the other pass, like they in penalties alone basically got you the 6-yard line. Like so, it's first and goal on the 6, and then all of a sudden you're back like on the 26 or whatever it was. It's like what happened?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like damn, all I had to do was punch it in. You know what I'm saying? And it's over. It's a wrap. So it kind of sucks in the sense of like I see what you're saying, Marcus, where it's like you get a little bit more help and. I saw Pop's comment when he said, we have the roster, we can't trade for everybody. But I think what Marcus is saying, though, is not necessarily you have to trade what you have. A lot of times you can get a really good player by picks. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys have picks. I don't think you guys have made it too many big splashes where you've lost a lot of your draft capital.
But you look at the 49ers getting CMC and the Eagles getting AJ Brown.
Yeah, it's all picks.
You gotta do something like that. Like
even the Rams a couple of years ago, they went all in on that 1 year. You know what I'm saying? And they're kind of suffering for it now, but they still got the Super Bowl in the last 2 years, whatever it is. So I see what you're saying, Marcus, in regards to like going out and get somebody. And Unc said something about Stephon Diggs. I can actually see Stephon Diggs being there because I know he wants to play with his brother. Yeah. Like I know he wants to play with his brother. So I could actually see that happening too next season, especially if the Bills keep playing like this. I could see this being a blow up season for them.
Yeah. But I see on this one like. I see where Pops is coming from as far as like when people become available like all the time, like Cowboys fans are like, oh, we need to get him. And I'm not saying we need to trade for everybody or we need to get a lot. It's just like kind of like Marcus is saying, like just that one piece to really just that cherry on top.
Yeah. And it's offense. That's it. It's offense. It's offensive play.
AJ Brown made a big difference for them, though. Like he
monstrous difference.
And then you got him and Smith. Like so.
Yeah. So when we double AJ Brown. He was open. Now when CD get double, like it's no way he should have had 11 catches how they're playing, but he's great. So it's imagine we have another guy over there. He don't have to get double no more. He gonna do more than that. You know what I'm saying? So it just we're predictable. We know what we're gonna do. Yeah. We got Ferguson. We got CD Lamb. So when it's like a 3rd and 8, we know where we're going. So it's easy to do something because nobody else stepping up. So like we had no running game yesterday. This imagine we had a run game yesterday.
Yep.
Like it's like other things we could do, man. So we're not there.
And I think when you open up the running game of that nature, Dak always plays better when the running game's going well, right? Because it doesn't fall so much on him to have to throw 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying, to win a game. You know what I mean? So you're right. You got to get the running game.
And Devontae Adams, I don't think he's declining. I don't know about that.
I don't know if he's talking about him or if he's talking about Stephon Diggs. Well, neither one of them.
Neither one of them. That's what I'm saying.
Stephon Diggs ain't declining.
I take either one of them right now.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll talk in a second about who they did sign, which was
I seen that today. I was like, what the heck was that? Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Pops feels about that one too. But yeah, a couple other games. Commanders beating the Patriots. I see over here Uncle saying if Bill Belichick Kraft may fire Bill Belichick if the Patriots lose this weekend. I just don't feel like you can go take a Hall of Fame historic coach.
Ain't no way in the world. He could lose. He could have 3 losing seasons next year, and he better not fire him.
And the funny thing is too, even if you fired him, like his whole coaching staff is very small and it's all like his exact guys. So like I don't really think anybody would be willing to step up, and you wouldn't get anything different than like exactly what you're getting with Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's all like it would just be him. You know, nobody would really step up and replace him.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening. No matter how bad they do this year, they can talk. They can talk off season, but I feel like that nothing's going to happen during the middle of the season. So
no, they wouldn't do that to Bill in the middle of the season. Worst case scenario, they mutually agree to part ways at the end. You know what I'm saying? That's worst case. Like I don't think they fire Bill.
Yeah. Let me see. What else did I have on here? Oh, I did. Okay, so there was a little bit of Aaron Rodgers trying to get himself back in the news, talking about he could potentially be on track to come back.
He looked good. You see him throwing the ball like that?
Yeah, he was
did a back step and everything. Like he can't run. We know he can't run yet, but the back step. Hey, if it's a third and something, you need a quick throw.
Right.
He's accurate.
Yeah. So we'll see if he might make a comeback for the Jets this season, though. I guess it just depends.
Yeah,
I was gonna say they're like their season's gonna be.
Yeah, they got to win last night. You can't. You're going to lose maybe one, maybe two good games to get in. Maybe one game the rest of the season.
Because they're 4-4.
So you ain't gonna. You got they're gonna lose.
If they can somehow stay afloat, it'll make sense if he could. But I think they have to get into the playoffs in order for him to be ready. Like they can't not get in, and then it won't be enough time. But like, man, watching Zach Wilson, he's really bad, dog. Like,
I feel for him though, because he can be good, like, but then like just only for like 2 quarters at a time. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
not a whole game.
The defense is just so good. Like it really, like when you don't watch anything but Zach, like you're only watching Zach perform, like it's not good. You know what I mean? So I do feel for him in a sense, because it's just like I feel like since he got there, all eyes have only been on him. They don't talk about any other part of the offense. You know what I'm saying? It's only Zach Wilson, but I know they're everybody's like, man, if we can just stay afloat, we can get Rodgers back at the end. Like I know everyone's thinking that. Everybody.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We got moms in the building though, and with a message from Augie. Appreciate you, Augie. That's what's up.
Yeah, Augie.
Stay tuned because we got something special for you in just a second, actually. Pops, Pops, we'll have to add this one to the crystal ball predictions if this happens. But
I do agree with him. I think he's trying to rush it because he feels good, but it doesn't mean the area is healed. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with Pops, man. Achilles is one of those things.
We're seeing Kevin Durant. We see what he did. He rushed back. So
true.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang, and that was a big
game.
Like, oh man,
one game.
But he was feeling too good. He was about to roast them. He was about to light them up.
He was about to be over.
He's like, we're gonna change this whole situation.
I know. Drake and Kyle Lowry was like, "Thank you, God, for popping that thing again."
Really?
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Did you guys see? Also, did you guys see that Kyler Murray got activated today?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna come back. That's one of the predictions we didn't think he was gonna play all year, but
he might play Sunday, maybe a little bit, or he might start on next Sunday. So,
gotcha.
Man. He just got paid. He ain't trying to leave Arizona. That's why he rushing. He like, no, y'all ain't finna draft nobody else.
Yeah. He's like, I want to go ahead and see this thing through.
Yeah,
paper. But speaking of interesting of like other quarterbacks kind of coming back, Carson Wentz. We thought we saw the last of him, but apparently he stayed ready. The Rams signed Carson Wentz as a backup to Matthew Stafford. Now they started Brett Rypien this weekend from Boise State, with Stafford being out, and it didn't go so well. They got beat down by the Packers, and they actually waived Rypien to sign Wentz this week. So we'll see what happens in the meantime. I don't know if Stafford's going to be ready to go on this. Wentz might not play, but I was just interested by this one. That's kind of weird to me.
It's crazy how good Wentz was. Like, he was on the verge of being that guy. Like, he was better than Goff. So just imagine he was still playing. Like, he was good, man. I still feel bad for him, man. He got hurt. Then you got to come in for the Eagles and win Super Bowl on your team.
Yeah, Nick Foles. Yeah.
It's like it's hard to get over that, man. It's hard. I don't think you'll ever get over that. Like, man,
he's never been the same since because he was 9 games into that season, and
man, he was MVP of the league right there. He's
undefeated. Like 8-0.
man,
Yeah.
it's just tough.
I do think though. I think like him going like staying with the Eagles was never going to work, right? Like it was just too much kind of like not necessarily bad blood, but like who do we go with? This dude won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like at that point, they were probably feeling like we could win with anybody. You know what I mean? And then he goes to Washington, whereas like you see how that turned out. So I kind of feel like if you can get in there with a good coach like McVay, who also has a really good system, and they do have a ton of really good wide receiver weapons, maybe he can turn it around or at least be better than what he's been.
Well, you see, like, my bad.
I think they're trying to stay afloat too because their record's not horrible. I think they're 4-4 now too. I think something like that.
I think they're like, I don't know. I think they're 4-4 maybe now after yesterday. So no, but I was just gonna say, like, you see the Baker Mayfield like kind of system that worked for him. He went there. We thought he was done with. He played a few games, and then he got a starting job the next year. So you never know what might happen with that. But I don't know if he'll actually get a chance to play. And I was hoping Georgia boy. I was hoping Stetson Bennett would get a chance to play because he's on the roster as a backup quarterback, but he didn't get any looks yet. So I'm not sure something's behind that. So he might not be he might not be ready for that spotlight yet. So we'll see. But yeah, the other interesting signing, Martavius Bryant being signed by the Cowboys, who hasn't played in the NFL since 2018. But he was recently reinstated. He's been staying in shape. He played in the XFL, I guess.
What college he went to again?
I don't remember. I just remember he was drafted by the Steelers. It might have been Oklahoma or Oklahoma State.
I forgot what team, but he was decent though. But that's a pickup. Like, that's all I'm just saying. Why we do stuff like that? Like, why are we doing stuff like that, man? Like,
it screams desperation to me.
It's like, let's just do something. I don't know.
Because I feel
but he could end up being a surprise. I just don't know.
You got Gallup. You got what's the other
Cooks?
guy?
Like, how can we get this guy involved? We can't get Cooks.
Got Tolbert.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it seems desperate.
Maybe to replace Tolbert though, because they
you can't get
Tolbert.
He made a great catch and a touchdown. Like, you can't let him go. He got to play now. He made that one little mistake, but you got Tolbert, Cooks, and Gallup. So where he gonna be, the fifth receiver?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what kind of.
He was a deep threat back. He was a deep threat when he was on the other side of Antonio Brown. So we'll see.
It stinks.
It stinks. Yeah, that was my only thing. It just kind of felt desperate because I mean, I don't watch Cowboys games in the same depth that y'all watch Cowboys games, so it's still kind of hard for me to understand why Cooks ain't been involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. Like, this dude was doing big things with quarterbacks way less than Dak, man. So I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, but you want to talk about declining receiver. He's okay. He's I'll put him in the same boat as Randall Cobb. He'll make you a couple of plays, but he's declining too. So
is he?
You want to talk about declining? He's definitely not to me, he's a number 3 receiver. He's not a number 2. So
yeah, well, we'll see. If this ends up making a difference. He's starting on the practice squad though, so I don't know if he'll even make the active roster. But it was, it's kind of though cool for him to get a chance. After being out of the league for so long. So
yeah,
that's one thing I definitely like.
Most players don't.
Especially since his last time he had active action was 2018. Like, that's a long time. But he's staying networked and connected and getting those opportunities. He got some workouts after his reinstatement, and here we go. So that's what's up. Moms has the intel on Stetson Bennett and why he's not been. Dang, that's tough, man.
What kind of rehab? Like a rehab?
Well, I think he drank. I think he like alcohol because he did have a situation like sometime before the draft, like where he was like, he was like faded. It was like early in the morning. He was like knocking on somebody's door or something.
Wow.
So, but what I'm saying? Like, he's been living the dream in Athens, what I'm saying, for the last couple of years. So
he never had to buy another drink there for the rest of his life. So
right, exactly. Right. So yeah, so we'll see, man. But I definitely wish him the best because I'm like, man, when they drafted him there to be Stafford's backup, I was like, look, like, I love Stafford, but at some point, what I'm saying, the backups usually play behind him. So I was kind of excited for that. So hopefully that there's still a chance that might happen. You never know. really, that's all we have for NFL talk. Though, want to remind everybody we're gonna do Secure the Bag too. That will air on Thursday before the Thursday night football game at some point. So we always do our pick'em competition. Join the competition on Yahoo, and whoever wins each week will get a Super Bowl square. We got to have a big shout out to Kelly, and she submitted her picture of her with the boys for her her week this week, 12-2. I think she only
That's pretty good.
New England game and dang, I can't remember the other game.
That's pretty good.
Did a great job this week, Kelly. So congratulations to you. A Super Bowl square coming your way. Your first there this year, even though I know she got several last year. So and her moms are actually in the tiebreaker. So a shout out to moms. And Grace was right there, third up. So
watch out, Grace.
So great job on
I'll say give mama props.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, if you guys want to join, saylikeachamp.com or hit the link in our bio and you can compete with us too. So that's what's up. We'll see. I think none of us have won this like a week yet this year, right?
No.
So we got to get on the board. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make that happen real soon. So, but let's go ahead and switch up though. I want to get some opinions on our next topic right quick. All right, NBA talk. So the young season is underway. We're a couple weeks in, and I definitely wanted to talk about Harden's debut with the Clippers, and we could kind of see their their new 4-pro lineup type of thing. But since we did talk last, Wemby has had a few more games under his belt, and he has really been kind of emerging. This game specifically, though, against the Suns, he had 38 and 10, and really just took over in the fourth quarter of that game against the Suns. They didn't have a Beal yet, but they had Grant and Booker. But I just wanted to get y'all's early impressions of Wemby so far.
He could ball, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think he was gonna be doing that. Dude, his confidence. I thought he'll be soft. He's not like those French guys. I don't think he eat croissants out there. I think he grew up with somebody because he ain't. I thought he would be soft. He got confidence. He coming at you. That one time he got that up guy who he blocked. I think it was a guy from the Rockets. I think Green, not Green. He was a number 2 pick from Auburn. From the Rockets. I can't think of his name right now. His dad played in the league too.
Yeah.
But the way he came down and blocked his shot, he tried to put it back up. He blocked it again. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be. I don't think he need to gain weight. I think he needs to stay size. Maybe gain a little muscle like that. But I think he's gonna be a great. He's gonna be one of the great bigs in the. He surprised me. So I think he's gonna be really good.
I think Pop's doing a really good job with him. It's funny because he's not rebounding as much right now, but it's because Pop's keeping him on the perimeter more. I think they're doing that to keep him healthy. I think they don't want to risk him getting injured too early, so they're keeping him on the perimeter a lot. But aside from it, he's been a beast, man. He's been really good. He had his huge game, 38 points. I want to say 38 against the Phoenix Suns, and they didn't play him well at all. They were boxing him out. The dude was getting rebounds from the 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? They just weren't being physical with him at all. But yeah, I mean, he's gonna be really good. And when he is down low, that's when he's super scary. You can't get a shot up. Dude literally blocks everything. No matter how far away you are, he's already in your face. You know what I mean? So I think that when he does put on a little bit more muscle, because he will. He's got a slender build, so it won't be too much. But he's gonna put on some more muscle, like Marcus said. And when he does, and he gets in the paint a lot more, it's gonna be game over. You know what I mean? Right now, he's doing what he's doing from the perimeter. You know what I mean? He's bringing the ball up and stuff. And once he gets in the post a lot more, game over. And he bangs too. I can't remember who he was going because he was banging against somebody who was a much bigger body than he was, and he still backed him down and banded on him. You know what I mean? So it's this kid, he's a kid. You know what I mean? He's a baby still. So he gets some more games under his belt. We're gonna see the Spurs back into the playoffs real soon.
Yeah, that's my thing. I think he can lead them there just kind of as is right now, the impact that he can make, and with Pop's coaching, like you mentioned. Yeah. And we all know too, as you grow into your body, you do get a different level of strength, that grown man strength that will kind of layer onto what he's got now. So it's been really dope to watch him though. Definitely, we had him on there as potential rookie of the year, him or Chet Holmgren, but it's looking like Wemby's gonna kind of, he's living up to that billing. So
Yeah.
I could see that. Did y'all have a chance to see kind of Harden? He came out okay for the Clippers, but I thought it was interesting that they basically started Zubac, Harden, Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard all together. I don't think that will be the starting lineup, like, in the long run.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of interesting. But you just have so many guys at once. Like, how do you share the ball?
Knicks beat him down. You know what I'm saying? Like, Knicks beat him down. I don't think this is gonna work. I mean, I actually like Ty Lue's coach. You know what I'm saying? I've given him his flowers over the last like 2 seasons or whatever. But I don't think it's gonna work, dog. Like, I don't know. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it so far. It's only one game, so it's whatever. But I don't know. It didn't look fluid. You know what I mean? It didn't look like a Ty Lue type offense. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Isn't
wonder.
that on you guys? Can you hear me or no?
Oh, we got you now.
Yeah, what you thinking, Marcus?
Yeah, go ahead. I won't say anything. I think it's freezing up on me, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I can hear you though.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, I just think it will be interesting to see like the mix, right, of the ball handling. If he's gonna be like he was with the Sixers, he was definitely effective. He has led the league in assists. He helped. He helped Joel Embiid get that MVP too, getting him a lot of easy shots. But for the Clippers, like, your other stars, right? Kawhi Leonard, Paul George aren't the type of guys that like stand around waiting like for a pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're guys that want to impact the game in their own way and have the ball in their hands too. So, I don't know.
All of those guys are scorers, like you were saying. Like, it's different when you've got your point guard and your big man, right? Like the pick and roll, all that fun stuff. But it's going to be a little bit trickier when you got Kawhi, Paul George, who essentially play the same position. You know what I mean? And both need the ball in their hands. And same thing with Harden. He needs to have the ball in his hands. And we forget how much Westbrook needs the ball in his hands to just orchestrate offense. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be tricky.
He's definitely not going to be standing in the corner waiting to shoot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's definitely going to be tricky. This one's going to be kind of tough to figure out, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I want to mention that, like when he left or whatever, when he was, being introduced with the Clippers or whatever, they were asking him about his time in Philly. He said he was restrained there. He said he doesn't think he's a system player, but he is a system. I did think that was kind of interesting because I'm like, since when have you been a system? I guess maybe for the Rockets, they just let him do that, but it's like I don't get how the Sixers put restraints on him, like when he basically had the ball in his hands the entire time.
The whole time. Always.
Yeah, so he could do what he wanted with it, but I do think it'll be interesting to see how it works. Marcus, I think you're good though. What do you think?
I didn't watch it. How it's going to work. Some people put him the top 3 in the West, but that's not going to happen. I think they'll maybe get the first round and get put out. So, and we got to see Kawhi or PG going to play after the All-Star break. You know how they going to so.
Right.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I feel that. They are always injured, so maybe they won't have to worry about having such a stacked lineup when they just are, rotating nights off and things like that. So we'll see. I did want to talk a little bit.
One thing you know is CP3. Oh my God. Yeah, go ahead. I'm breaking up again. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. We'll have to get your thoughts. I definitely want to hear your thoughts about CP3 too. But I was just going to take a quick second to switch it up. I wanted to talk baseball real quick. We got to crown the Texas Rangers and give them their flowers, the World Series champs. So that's what's up with that. That was, it ended up not being such a competitive World Series as it seemed to be after the first 2 games being, being what they were. But the Rangers did their thing 4-1. Won all 3 games here in Arizona, which just kind of sucks. The Diamondbacks fans like getting back to the World Series after so many years and, not even getting to see one home victory. That sucked.
Yeah, that was bad, man. They should have won at least 1 home game, dog. Come on, man.
I thought they were going to send it back to Texas. I thought it was going to at least go 6, especially after the first game was so close. And then the second game, the Diamondbacks, did their thing. So I thought for sure they win at least 1 more game in that series. But
it was crazy. Didn't the Rangers go undefeated in away games?
Yeah, they did not lose on the road in the playoffs. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
that is pretty incredible for them. Even though that Astros Rangers one that went to Game 7, but
Yeah.
they did all their damage on the road. It's crazy. Corey Seager joins Rare Company, being only the second player to ever win a World Series MVP with two different organizations. The other one was Reggie Jackson. He won with the A's and with the Yankees, so that's what's up for him. It's funny how baseball has like gone on for so long, but there's always like new records being broken all the time, or things that are like rare happening all the time. So
You said what happened? He won. He's on 2 teams. That's only happened by 2 people.
yeah, only 2 people have ever been a World Series MVP for 2
Oh,
different
MVP. Oh, MVP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My bad. So yeah, so he was a World Series MVP, and then he was for the Dodgers in 2020 as well. So
I got it mixed up. I probably have another episode. I said it wrong. I thought they lost to the St. Louis Cardinals. I thought Dustin Baker was the manager. It wasn't him. It was another black manager. I can't think of his name though. I thought it was Dustin Baker, but it wasn't Dustin Baker.
yeah, it wasn't him. It was what's his name? Washington.
Yeah.
But it was him that we thought he was going to be the first to bring it home for the Rangers.
Yeah, I thought it was Dustin Baker, but like they say, we all look alike, bro.
It's all good, fam. It's all good, fam.
They both look like an old uncle, they smoke cigars in the backyard and then Thanksgiving and something like that,
Exactly. Exactly.
Jesus sandals, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that's what's up. Speaking of managers too, it was kind of interesting. The Cubs fired their manager and hired Craig Counsell away from the Brewers. So, Strizzy, I didn't know if you had a chance to see this or what your thoughts are on Craig Counsell coming over, but the Brewers are mad. Apparently, they're kind of saying like, well, we didn't just lose him, like he lost us, and he's kind of not part of our community no more. Especially since like the Cubs and Brewers have that rivalry. But
yeah,
I think this was a dope move, honestly, aggressive move for the Cubs.
I think it was a great move for the Cubs. I think one of the, like watch it's kind of crazy. Like watching them throughout the season this year and last year, they would like win big games against really good teams. Sometimes never really won the series against them, but like would maybe split or what I'm saying, or at least get a dub. They never really got swept. And then this year they were close. So like they were in the wild card hunt, just a little too far back. You know what I mean? And I think part of that had to do with the manager role, and I think it's going to really help them. I think he'll bring just better rotations, in a sense, with the batting order and things of that nature. Because hitting wasn't our problem. I think we got to get a little bit better pitching too. Kind of like the Cardinals. Like pitching was definitely our kind of Achilles heel, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But we got our like 1 or 2 guys, and the rest of the clubhouse is a little less than mediocre. But I think it's a really big deal, and I love it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I did want to mention too, like the Brewers are kind of salty and they're mad about it, but they had their chance to extend his contract. They let his contract essentially expire at the end of last year. And then, it was assumed that he would renegotiate with them and go there. Or, some people were saying maybe the Mets would go after him. But the cool thing is basically he doubled his salary. He's going to go from making $3.5 million to almost $7 million. Mm-hmm. And the next highest, the previous highest paid manager was at like 4.5. So he definitely got big paid, and I think it'll be pretty cool to see, what he can do with the Cubs. So
I think Pops is right. I mean, like it's a big move. Like your manager matters. Like it definitely matters, man. It could literally be the difference. You know what I mean? Like so, I'm hoping to see big things from them next year.
Yeah, most definitely. And yeah, the Mets did settle for scrubs. So all right, I did want to talk about college football real quick. That's our last topic, and the new rankings just came out. So we have the top 4. I shouldn't say the new top 4, but the top 4 of the college football playoff rankings. Georgia's still in that second spot, despite having the win record, despite being the kind of the defending titleist. I'm personally okay with that, I guess, because based off of this year, right, and quality wins and things like that. But a lot of people are saying Georgia should be number 1 based on where they're at, but each year is kind of different. And I know that at the end of the day, like it really only is going to matter on the last day of the season, right, when they actually pick the top 4. So
exactly, I completely agree. To be honest with you, I was actually kind of shocked that Ohio State jump 3 spots. You know, and if they were in 3 and they end up going to number 1, I was a little surprised at that. I feel like you don't really see that kind of movement in the top 4. Like, you know, maybe a spot goes up. You know, they won. You know, maybe Georgia dropped from 2 to 1, and maybe Michigan moved to 1 or whatever. But I thought that was a little weird. But I'm kind of like you right now, where Georgia's ranked. They could be ranked 4 as long as they get it. It doesn't really matter who they play of those 4 teams. If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
So, and who knows? Honestly, Michigan might even lose with everything they got going on right now.
Well, and Michigan and Ohio State, they're going to play each other within the next couple of weeks. So they're definitely, you know, one of those two is going to drop out.
100%. And honestly, I hope for it because I really like to see Washington or Oregon get in. Well, I really like one of those two to get in.
Yeah, and I do think, like, you know, right now there are some big games on the landscape for the Pac-12, but I think if Washington goes undefeated, they have to be up there based on, you know, kind of the teams that they've played. And we know that Ohio State or Michigan is going to have 1 loss. So, so we'll see. But it's been a very interesting football year, right? Because there hasn't been like one team that looks like super dominant or super scary. Like, so, you know, I think it's going to be one of those years where you just never know. Like, it could be anybody, but I'm hoping Georgia really continues to do their thing. They've been having a lot of injuries, but the coaching just takes them to the next level. Like, they always have a game plan that's going to kind of see them through.
Exactly.
So
I think at the end of the day, too, I think one of Georgia's biggest strengths is always going to be their defense and their running game. They never, you know, so like even if your quarterback's having it like not the greatest a game, like they're always going to be in it. You know what I mean? Like always, and they're always going to be put in a position where with the coaching that they can, you know, end up winning the game in the end. But I'm with you. I think Ohio State, Michigan this year. I think Ohio State wins, pushes Michigan out, and I think there's a little bit of politics in there. It's like, look, we got to push you out. We got to push you out, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think somehow they're going to get pushed out without being pushed out. You know what I'm saying? So, I see Michigan falling out somehow and Washington sneaking in.
Yeah. No, I will talk a little bit more about that for sure. But, yeah, Washington would be super dope in there. Pop says Dogs have earned being number 1, but we will win the playoffs again. These are the same idiots that included TCU last year. For sure. And then Kelly said go Dogs from August.
Yep.
Definitely rooting for those Bulldogs. I was going to take a look real quick at the big games of this week. We have Ole Miss at Georgia, and I think that this is going to be a big one, like a super big test for Georgia. Their defense, can they, you know, have a game plan that will slow Ole Miss down? And obviously on the offense, can they continue to score enough points to win the games? Yeah. I'm really happy that this is a home game, though. You know, no travel, no dangerous environment, because playing in the SEC in a night game on the road is, you know what I'm saying, can be very tricky. But hopefully, you know, it's Ole Miss that's dealing with that crazy crowd noise and, you know, makes a few mistakes because of it. So
definitely.
We'll see. Also, Utah and Washington. So that'll be another tough test for Washington. And then Penn State, Michigan is this weekend too. So a lot of top 25 matchups for sure coming up this weekend.
Yeah, should be some good ones for sure.
But speaking of Michigan, though, I did want to take a stroll down this like little interesting developments. Right, we've been talking about the sign stealing for a couple weeks, as far as like, okay, there's talk or they're investigating it, and now it's come out that even more information continues to come out week over week. So right here we have Connor Stallions, and he's standing right next to the offensive coordinator. They also have photographs of him standing right next to Harbaugh and like the defensive coordinator as well. Like, and there's like kind of some different things where they'll see where he's like basically like they're like he's like advising them, right? Or like as things happen, or as signs are coming out, play calls coming in, like he's telling them information so that they can switch their calls or whatever, whether it's run pass, things like that. Yeah. So that's part of the allegations. But what got even crazier with this dude, so we see again this dude here on the left. So what got even crazier is it came out that Central Michigan was like, hey, we have like video of this guy actually on our sideline. So I took some of the best clips that they kind of produced, but over here, this is on Central Michigan sideline. This is during the Central Michigan versus Michigan State, and so you see homeboy over here, you know what I'm saying, with a little bit of a darker goatee. He's got the glasses on, but he's wearing Central Michigan gear. And then here's another one of him kind of behind the coaches. And the crazy thing about this is what you see right here, this little blue light. These are actually the Ray-Ban cameras that have the Ray-Ban, sunglasses that have the camera in them. So he's like literally filming clips like from that close, wearing Central Michigan gear. And speaking of the gear, this is another one that they got where he's got like the shirt, right, and the hat, but they noticed like his shoes are actually Nikes, and somehow he's like obscured the Nike swoosh because they're an Adidas school, like, and he wants to fit in on their sideline. So he's got the clipboard, he's got the whole outfit and everything. I just think it's crazy, but I think it's reasonable to say that that's the same individual, especially with all the other evidence that they have tied to him, like actually buying tickets to different games. What do you think of this though? Like, what's got to happen? Like, what do you see as a result of this?
I feel like you can't like lie about it, right? Like, there's no way Harbaugh goes, oh, I had no idea that he was at these games. Like, I had no idea, or even if he didn't have any idea he was there, like, obviously he knows that he came back to, Michigan and was like, hey, I learned this, I learned that, whatever the case may be. So I feel like, it can't go unpunished for one. And I think the funniest thing about it is, like, Michigan State hasn't been good in years. Central Michigan ain't been good ever. so you know what I mean? So like,
but even like Bill Belichick, like, they scout everybody. Like,
true.
Like, this dude was excited about it, man. He was going extensive like legs, right? And you're right though. He's scouting Central Michigan and Michigan State like at the same time. But
right. And so it's just funny to me that it's like, look, dog, you're Big Blue. Like, you're one of the top schools in America. Have been for years. Like, you guys have been good. Like, you don't need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't. You know what I mean? So, and then, like, in the end, is it worth it? Like, you just got suspended for 4 games. You know what I mean? Like, and some people are saying that wasn't long enough. And now this, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right, for like, you've already been suspended this year for other violations. Like,
right. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's crazy. It really is. Like, at this point, I heard something too that, like, they're thinking about taking like actual legal actions. Like, this wouldn't even be a part of like necessarily like, oh, you might get fired this, or you might be banned from Michigan that. Like, I heard there's possible like legal action that's going to be taken against Michigan, or Michigan taken against Harbaugh or something like that. So that makes it even worse.
True. Like, I wonder like what, like, I don't know like what part like could be criminal, or maybe something associated to how he was like gaining access to people's sidelines or the information. I'm not sure.
Yeah, me neither.
It is pretty crazy though. I mean, like, I just feel like this guy, like, they probably told him like, go watch some games, like, you know what I'm saying, get some intel, and like he's just doing too much. Like, they're like, yo, we didn't tell you to go, like, like, you know what I'm saying? He was coming back like, I got everything. Like, you want their playbook? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
man was 007, got a copy of the playbook while he was on the field.
It's crazy, man. But I'm like, how are you standing that close? Like, the funny part is too, is like, I mean, that does take, some bravery, right? Like,
yeah,
you're standing there, like, anybody could turn around and be like, who are you again? Like, and then they
breathing on my shoulder, bro.
Yeah, wait a minute, hold on, I don't know this guy. You know this guy? Like, no, all of a sudden he's just like, backing up and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. That's crazy to me though.
This man a part of Wedding Crasher, but you go to football games instead.
Exactly. Like, they literally like, they were like, we need you to infiltrate. But no, I just thought that was pretty funny, man. Like, I just was like looking at these pictures. I'm like, man, we gotta see how the Slackers feel about that one. But literally, just the definition of doing too much for sure. Yeah. When it comes to how they were being investigating them. So, but that's what's up though. Definitely want to give a shout out to our brother Marcus. He had some technical difficulties that interrupted the stream for him. So. We love you, brother, though. Appreciate you being with us. That's all we really, really wanted to touch on for today. I think we covered all of our topics, but, hockey going on, that's fun stuff. And just getting into football, like, the nitty gritty a little bit more now that the trade deadline is over with, and people are kind of settling into where they're going to be at. There's definitely some fun matchups coming up. And then basketball, basketball's been good. Lakers have been pretty cool to watch so far, but it's still early with the basketball. We'll have to talk more about the in-season tournament next week too. I'm not liking it so far.
The players don't like it. They don't even know what's going on.
They're like, wait, what?
Man, you got players tweeting talking about like, yo, is this game an in-season tournament game or not an in-season? Like, they're lost. They don't even really know what's going on. It's crazy. I don't like it so far, but we'll talk more about it.
Yeah, most definitely.
That Laker Heat game down there gave me a heart attack. I was like, man, I swear to God.
I know it came down to 1 point when Mr. Glass, of course, out with the back spasm or the hip spasms to Anthony Davis. So,
you know what's funny? I gotta get a shout out to Pops real quick. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like really quick, like in regards to just like who the GOAT is, debate wise. Him and Marcus always going at it as far as like MJ and LeBron. I feel like y'all losing that game is the kind of the reason why like MJ will always be my GOAT, just because like you got 1-on-1 with Jimmy. That was an easy bucket for Bron, bro. Like, and if he did pass it, he made the wrong pass. Woods had his man fronted, and it was an easy lob
right there.
Lob, he dished off to the three. I don't know. It's just, to me, it was like it wasn't even the right pass. So like I get it. A lot of times LeBron makes the right pass, the right move. Like that was like, yeah, I'll admit it. Y'all should have won that game. Like y'all had us like. I was like, damn, he's gonna lob it up to Woods, and Woods is gonna dunk it. And he threw it out to the 3-point line. I was like, oh, it's a wrap. Cam gonna miss this.
Yeah.
I was like, Cam gonna miss this. He ain't gonna make that. I was like, but yeah, man, like that's the reason why to me, like Jordan, like no one's taking that shot except MJ. You know what I mean? Like we gonna lose or win by me. And to me, that's the greatest. That's the greatest.
I feel it. I totally feel it. And that mentality definitely is a separator. Some people value that more than others, but
that's always been a separator for me, man.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Unk says, "Have you listened to the 30 for 30?" I haven't listened to it. I did see that he sent it, and I saw earlier. I'll forward that over to Pops too. We'll have to check that one out. Maybe that'll be our homework for next week too. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We appreciate y'all being with us as always. We'll be back on Thursday for Secure the Bag, and then next week for episode 220. But until then. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Shiz.
Peace.
Peace.